lot of forklift damage, either we need to slow down, think twice, just use common sense, which obviously if it was common, we'd all have it, but we got to start thinking about when we're doing that stuff. All right, Eduardo, you have pictures tomorrow? I can't find them. All right, and then also turkeys handed out tomorrow, so make sure you bring your tag. First and third shift between 6:30 and 7:30. First and second shift 2:45 to 3:15. So make sure you have your tickets, okay? So we can get those handed out. What's that? Oh, I thought I heard something. Oh, all right. All right. Also, we have our ISO audit. It is 12/1, so it's next Tuesday, and then Brenco's the following Monday and Tuesday. Okay. So I need everyone to make sure they get all their corrective actions completed in IQ. If you don't know how to do your corrective actions in IQ, make sure you see Anna or Bob or with Laura when she gets back. So those are all done, and make sure all the training's signed off. Okay, you got to make sure all that stuff's ready to go. All right, so we were talking about fabrication of homes. They were trying to talk about doing it in assembly line. Yet almost all the world's new single-family homes are still built largely at the construction site by cutting and fastening a welter of materials to create a basic structure, and then installing thousands of individual components, from plumbing fixtures to kitchen appliances to wall sockets. If you ever go to your home builder and then to the construction site and take a seat to watch the action, you will mostly note inaction. For example, when Doyle Wilson started to measure what occurred in his office and at the work site as part of his TQM effort, he discovered that 5/6 of the typical construction schedule for a custom-built home was occupied with two activities: waiting for the next step of specialists, basically architects, cost estimators, bill of materials, drafters, landscape architects, roofers, or so on, to work a particular job into the complex schedules, and rework, to rip out and correct the work just done that was either incorrect from a technical standpoint or failed to meet the needs of the expectations of the home buyer. As the buyer at the end of the process, you pay for all the waiting and the rework. Grumbling, of course, but it is the custom product after all, and you've heard many stories from your friends about even worse problems with their homes. So you tend to accept the predominant system and its problems as unavoidable and inherent in the nature of the activity. In fact, all of these activities, the creation, ordering, and provisions of any goods or any service, can be made to flow. And when we start thinking about ways to line up all the essential steps needed to get the job done into a steady, continuous flow with no wasted motions, no interruptions, no patches, no cues, it changes everything. How we work together, the kinds of tools we devise to help with our work, the organizations we create to facilitate the flow, the kinds of careers we pursue, the nature of business firms, and their linkages to each other in society. Applying flow to a full range of human activities will not be easy or automatic. For starters, it's hard for most managers to even see the flow of a value and therefore to grasp the value of flow. Then once managers begin to see, many practical problems must be overcome to fully introduce the sustained flow. However, we do insist that flow principles can be applied to any activity and that the consequences are always dramatic. Indeed, the amount of human effort, time, space, tools, and inventory needed to design and provide a given service or good can typically be cut in half very quickly, and steady progress can be maintained from the point onward to cut inputs in half again with a few years. All right, just think about every time you go somewhere, either get your car washed, go to the grocery store, waiting in line, look at the process, see how much time is actually value added, and how much time you waste. And how much time is wasted because it's not flowing through, because there's a stopgap, because you come to a stop sign instead of a roundabout, and because you come to a stop light. You know, you go to the car wash, and you actually wash the car for 2 minutes, and you're there for a half hour. Okay? Think about all that wasted time and what they're delivering. Okay?